Hello, very warm welcome. Turkish race reaction. That was an absolute classic as we crown Lewis Hamilton a 7-time world champion. Wow, get in there. Followed his whole career, and this one is very special. Of course, we knew it was going to happen after lap 1 because Bottas spun, and that was it. It was title over. So, for 58 laps, we knew it was going to happen. But what a stint. Hamilton and Perez do a massive long stint. That was an absolute classic race. We have to return to Turkey. The whole asphalt tarmac has just made this Grand Prix amazing. High chance that Hamilton will win the title, and he did so. Giovinazzi and Russell both damaged their wing on the way to the grid. Hamilton went down the inside of Ricciardo into Ocon, and then Ocon did nothing wrong. He got an unbelievable start, but got taken out. Bottas spun also, and it was a horror day for Valtteri. Title over already. Bottas and Ocon actually had 2 incidents on the first lap. I felt really sorry for Ocon. Vettel had an unreal start, and basically that made his race. He had a world-class start. Dreamland for Racing Point. They were 1-2. They were 15 seconds in the lead. Perez did get second, Stroll heartbreak, and Vettel on the podium. I mean, wow. It was dreamland for Racing Point. I honestly thought they were going to get a 1-2. Bottas had a horror day. It all started at lap 1. He spun, and then he spun 4 times in the race. And then to top it off, he got lapped by Lewis Hamilton. And he basically wouldn't let Lewis pass, which I thought was a bit twattish, considering he was completely out the race. Max, he had a huge spin. Now, so many people could have won this race. Hamilton, Perez, Stroll, Albon, Max. Max, he tried to pass Perez into the flat right. He should have just stayed behind and then passed him. But he was too aggressive. That's the problem with Max. Too impatient. He got on that AstroTurf stuff and completely flat-spotted the tyres, had to pit. Brilliant race. This is what F1 needs. Variation, craziness. We have to return to Turkey. Obviously, Vietnam's not going ahead next year, so let's go to Turkey again. For me, this has been the best race of the new tracks and old tracks that we've gone to. 100%. Vettel was having an amazing race. Great to see Sebastian Vettel back fighting at the front and on the podium. Albon spin, huge mistake. He was in P3, he was catching the racing points, but dunno, he seemed to get to the racing points and then he couldn't get past. Magnussen had an issue in his pit stop, was having a good race. I feel a bit for Magnussen. Got shafted with the yellow flags yesterday, and today the team let him down. Bottas gets lapped, and then we saw lots of spins. Ricciardo spin as Norris passed him. Kimi and Max spun at the same corner. Hamilton and Perez took the tyres on a mega stint. And Perez always seems to be on the podium when Hamilton wins. He's always on the podium when Hamilton wins, is Perez. They did like 50 odd laps on one set of tyres. Then Charles Leclerc sent it. He was in P3, Charles Leclerc. He went down. Like, Perez made a mistake at turn 9. Leclerc was second. Perez got it back. Leclerc sent it. And Leclerc ends up 4th when he was second. But he obviously tried to get back down the inside of Perez. Wow. Race rating 10 out of 10. Fastest lap Lando Norris. And star of the race, I would have to give it Sebastian Vettel. It's absolutely fantastic to see Vettel back at fighting at the front. I absolutely loved it. DNF's Giovinazzi, who had a pretty awful race, and Latifi. Lewis Hamilton wins the race. Once again, shines in wet conditions. He's the world champion. We've known it for a long time. It was just about when and where. And it was obvious after lap 1 he was the champion. It's absolutely brilliant. I've supported his whole career since 2006. And to see what he's achieving is remarkable. And again, I honestly didn't think Mercedes would win this race, and they have. Sergio Perez second. Racing Point were on for a 1-2. Once again, Perez delivers and did that mega stint. And surely Perez has to get a seat for 2021. Sebastian Vettel back on the podium after a horror season at Ferrari. Finally, we see Vettel at the front. And what really made Vettel's race was his start. And he was looking fantastic, Vettel, again. Looked confident again. Great to see. My star of the race. Leclerc, P4. He came from nowhere, Charles Leclerc. He was like 8th. And he was passing everyone. Then he got into 2nd. Then Perez got back past him. So he sent it. And he ended up 4th. He went for it. It didn't pay off. But great fight back by Leclerc. Then McLaren, as I've got my McLaren top on, they had a horrific day yesterday. They both picked up penalties. Carlos Sainz ends up 5th. Didn't see a lot of him, but that's a great effort. Max, P6, arguably could have won the race, made that huge mistake when following Sergio Perez. Had to be patient, he wasn't, cost him. Albon, again, was the fastest guy on the track, but got to the racing points, couldn't get past him, and then he spun. Norris, really quick at the end of the race, picked up the fastest lap. He's 8th. So McLaren had a shit day yesterday. Really impressive today. Now, probably star of the weekend, Lance Stroll. Pole position yesterday. Led easily 35 laps. And he's ended up 9th. Just couldn't get the tyres to work when he came back out. Hamilton and Perez stayed out. Stroll pitted. And it didn't work. Ricciardo, 10th. Had a spin when fighting Norris. 11th, Ocon. Now I feel really bad for Ocon. He had a great start. Hamilton into Ricciardo, Ricciardo into Ocon. Ocon spins. And then he gets taken out by Bottas. So it's a great fight back, considering he had 2 incidents that wasn't his fault. Kvyat, 12th. 13th, Gasly. AlphaTauri, not good in these conditions whatsoever. Valtteri Bottas, 14th. He had probably the worst day of the season. Spin at turn 1, contact with Esteban Ocon. Spun 3-4 times. It was dreadful. Kimi Raikkonen, 15th, had a spin. Russell, 16th. And Kevin Magnussen, shafted by the yellow flags yesterday. Today, the team let him down. And the DNS was Giovinazzi Latifi. Hamilton is the champion. And now the nonsense will stop about his contract. Of course he's going to sign a new contract. He's absolutely dominating the sport. Mercedes were wrote off today, including me. And now what an idiot. I've been following Hamilton's career since 2006. And even I didn't think he could win today because Mercedes were nowhere. But you got to say, Hamilton once again shines. Everyone else didn't want to win the race. Hamilton does a mega tyre stint once again. He is a world-class driver. Top 3 of all time. 7 world titles. He matches Schumacher. He will win his 8th next year. And he will have every record in F1 history books. He's a world-class driver. Time and time again, he keeps proving the doubters wrong. On the track, off the track, he is a huge influence. And he's got to be given Sir Lewis Hamilton. What he's done today is special. Maybe never be topped again. It will be years since we see someone else win 7-8 titles. I'm so confident he'll win the title next year as well, so that will be 8. He will sign that contract. He's winning races, he's dominating the sport. Of course he's going to sign a new deal. No doubting in my mind. It's fantastic. What a Turkish Grand Prix. The track surface made it an epic Grand Prix. I'm absolutely buzzing. That is exactly what F1 needed. Heartbreak for Lance Stroll. He did amazing, but the tyres didn't work. It was an epic Turkish Grand Prix. For me, we have to return to Turkey in 2021. What a race. It was 10 out of 10. It was up there with Monza. That may be even the best race of the season, just for the variety. Wow. What a race. What an advert for Formula 1. And Lewis Hamilton is a 7-time world champion. Get in there, Lewis. Woohoo! Join me for driver ratings. Wow. I'm buzzing. Smash that like button for Lewis Hamilton being a 7-time champion. I'm one happy man.